it's Maiden. I'm coming to you with another random ink sample swatching video. I have this many inks left to swatch, and yeah, I just wanted to go ahead, and I have about 45 minutes left of my lunch hour, so I thought that I would jump on here and swatch some inks. And also kind of, Chris Signs had done a like a fountain pen hobby tag, and I thought that I would go through and answer her questions. I'd actually recorded a solo video of this, but I haven't had a chance to get it up, and I figure it'll be something to do while I swatch the inks. So yeah, so I wrote down her questions on this rodeo dot pad. The ink, in case you're wondering, is Robert Oster Sydney Lavender, and I used my Oyster pen, which is right over here, to write them down, in case you wanted to know that information. For ink swatching purposes, I'm going to use this Moonman Mini glass dip pen. It has a glass nib on it. You can find these. I've gotten a lot of questions about it recently. You can find them on Amazon, on eBay. I've seen them on Etsy. I think AliExpress also sells them. I've never shopped at AliExpress though. But yeah, I know that you can get them pretty cheaply there. I've seen them anywhere from like $10 to like $20, so it just depends on where you get it and when you buy it. But yeah, it's a great pen. It screws to post, and so then you have like a decent rating pen. I like this a lot better than the like traditional tiny, or no, they're not tiny, they're very long and unwieldy in my opinion, glass tip pens. So yeah, so that's what I'm using. And then we have paintbrushes, and we have Col-o-ring cards, and I have, like I said, a giant box of samples to go through. So it's mostly Vandemans. There is some like we have some Scribo inks in here, some Colorverse inks that are older inks that I'd never used before. So yeah, so I'm just going to kind of reach in here and grab some, and then when I have to go back to work, I will stop, and that's how that will go. So first up, we have Sailor's Delight, and I actually almost don't need to swatch this one. Actually, I'm going to save this. I don't need to swatch that one because we swatched it during the ink flight. I will show you. These are all the inks that I've swatched in my previous video, my last few swatch videos. Sailor's Delight is a pretty, like, orangey red color, so I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to swatch that on camera. I'll waste time with an ink you may have probably seen already. Some of these might be like that, because I know, oh yeah, like this one, Leatherwood Honey Amber. Somebody asked if it was scented. I don't think it is. No, it's not. I think I said something about it being reminiscent of KWZ Honey, and somebody thought I might have said scented. I didn't. This is also one that we got in the ink flight. I think I have a few in this box that we received in the ink flight, so I'm not going to swatch this one either. If I get a few of those, I'll probably swatch them for my own purposes off camera, but I'm not going to waste our time here. Oh, and Devil's Kitchen. That was another one that we had swatched in the ink flight. It looks like this. So cool. So, well, that's fun. So that's a few that I don't have to do. Alright, what else we got? Okay, Summer Tiger Snake. Oh, that's an exciting one. This looks like it's kind of like a weird, like, greeny brown one. Okay. So let me get my card here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little closer. Okay. Well, where is my vial holder? Right here. This is a toothbrush holder from Daiso, courtesy of pen friend Cassandra. I always get questions about that, so I thought I would answer that. This is like a greeny, yellowy, brown, or it's a brownish, goldish green color, I think. It looked really interesting on the website. Actually, it doesn't look like a color that I would enjoy that much, but I've been surprised before. So this is from Van Ness Pens. Well, actually, it kind of reminds me of like Alt Gold Grün, so never mind. This is not the one I thought it was, I don't think. This is from their summer their season series, so it's Summer Tiger Snake. So the first question on Chris's fountain pen hobby tag is, what's your favorite ink brand? I would say probably right now I'm really obsessed with Sailor inks. I'm also really obsessed with Vandeman's inks. Clearly I have like a ton of either bottles or samples of them. This brush needs a little, okay. So yeah, but Sailor I would say is probably my favorite ink brand. My favorite ink is not necessarily a Sailor ink, but I do love them. Actually, my favorite ink is a Robert Oster ink. My favorite ink is actually Robert Oster Sydney Lavender. It's my very favorite ink, followed by TWSBI Black and TWSBI Midnight Blue. Probably TWSBI Midnight Blue over TWSBI Black, but oops. Yeah. But Sailor is like an ink brand I'm obsessed with recently. I'm collecting the 50 States inks and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, this ink is so... Okay, never mind. It doesn't remind me of Alt Gold Green at all now that it's like down and doing things. Looks like it's got a little bit of dual shadiness, maybe, perhaps. Kind of looks like there's some blue peeking out there. That might have just been there's water there. But yeah. But Sailor, I would say, is probably my favorite ink brand right now at the moment. Subject to change, but currently, that's probably my favorite one. How many pen pals do you have? I would say I have a few. I would say maybe like 10 to 20 people that I like actively write to, except I owe like everybody. Next up we'll do Scribo, Rosso, Chianti. I feel like I owe a lot of people letters and like return packages and things, so I haven't been keeping up with my portion of the pen paling very well recently, but I'm hoping nothing's gonna slow down, but I'm hoping I have a few days off around the holidays. I'm hoping to be able to take some of that time away from playing Bloodborne and maybe write some letters and put together some packages and things like that. Ooh, this is pretty. This is Scribo, Rosso, Chianti. Very pretty wine colored. Like that a whole lot. Yeah, so I have been enjoying playing Bloodborne. But anyway, back to the tag, and my needing to be better about writing pen pals. I would say there's probably like between 10 and 20 people that I actively write to, or have exchanged letters and things with, and I need to write back to probably most of them. So yeah. So that's, I've been a bad pen pal this year, specifically the last few months. So if you're waiting on something from me, it will be coming, hopefully very soon. That is a very pretty color. I like that a whole lot. I love winey reds though, so that's not super surprising. At least to me. Yeah, so question number 3. Are you all done buying fountain pens? I feel like, I was going to, okay, hold on. I need to fix this. I was going to, like I did for the ink flight, I was going to paint some of these on this Tomboy River paper, so you could see what that looks like on that paper. So let me very quickly fix that. Okay, so are you all done buying fountain pens? The answer is I should be. I do have a Grail pen out there that I would like to get, and I am always tempted by a TWSBI. Speaking of, I have no idea when my TWSBI Rose Gold Mini is going to show up. I thought it was supposed to be here like today, but the tracking just says it's been accepted and doesn't say that it's anywhere near me, so I don't know when that's going to happen. The mail has been so weird, and I understand why, but also it's like way bad. It's not even like attempting to like pretend to care at this point about getting things anywhere when it says it will, which is irritating. First world problems, I suppose, but still. Okay. So yeah, I should be done buying fountain pens, but next up, ooh, Montblanc Spider Gray. I don't know why I have this, because I don't know why I have this, because I know that somebody's sending it to me eventually. Maybe. Well, I guess now they're not. They don't have to. Actually. So cool. So we'll go ahead and do this. This is from Anderson Pens. When did I order this? I don't remember ordering this. That's a very pretty gray, though. I'm happy to have some. Yeah, so like I said, I should be done buying fountain pens. How many times am I going to repeat myself there? But I know that I'm not, so I'm not even going to pretend to say that I am. Question number 4. How many people have you brought into the fountain pen hobby? I would say, like, unofficially, well, I mean, I don't necessarily know if it was official. It was not a permanent visit to fountain pen land, I don't believe. But, I did briefly get a couple of coworkers into fountain pens. Oh, that's very nice. I like that a lot. This is a nice gray. This is a very nice gray. Very pretty. Yeah, so I briefly got a couple of coworkers on the fountain pen deal. It didn't stick, and I had help doing it. I used to have a coworker who was also somewhat into fountain pens, and she'd come over and talk to me, and everybody else would be like, "Ooh, what's going on? What's happening? What are we into?" So they'd, naturally be curious, and we got a couple of people who were briefly swayed by the fountain pens, but I don't know, now that everybody's working from home, I don't know that it's necessarily stuck. Although maybe it has. Oh shoot, I was going to do this. I didn't do this. Yeah. Maybe I need to do the Tomboy River paper before I do the swatch, because I am such in a habit of cleaning the brush after swatching. Okay. That was a very nice gray, though. Okay. So I would say 2. Next up, we have Vandeman Seasons Spring, and, well, they say Butterfly. I think this has a longer name, but I don't know what it is. Actually, let me borrow my work computer and its internet, and we will just do a research real fast. Vandeman's Spring Butterfly. I think it has a longer name. Yeah, Macleay's Swallowtail Butterfly. Okay. I understand why they only put butterfly on the label, because these labels don't have room for much. Okay, looks like it's a really nice bright green. Like a bright greenish yellow. Oh, it looks really pretty. Okay. It's kind of neon in the cap. It's interesting. Ew, that is like... I wonder how legible that's going to be. Okay, Vandeman's Spring. I don't even need to write that, I don't think, but I'm going to. It looks like it's a slightly darker, more legible Fairchild Press Sweet Honeydew. That's the vibe I get off of it. Okay. But yeah, so I would say 2, but it didn't stick. Question number 5, who influenced me into the hobby? Nobody specific. Originally, I saw fountain pens, some Pilot Varsities at Office Depot, but, or Staples or Office Max, or I don't know the exact store, Staples, wherever it was, an office supply store, and, bought them for myself. But, this is very light. I can read it better than Ferris Wheel Press Sweet Honeydew, I think, though, but it's pretty on par with that sort of color. It looks like melon. It's very pretty. Let's put this on the Tomboy River paper. It's lovely, though. I don't know that I would really use it for anything, but it's lovely. I'm happy to try it. Yeah, so the planner girls of Instagram around 2016 all got TWSBI. It's very bright. It looks like a really light highlighter, kind of like a mild liner, maybe. I think the mild liner in this similar-ish shade of green is a little darker, but maybe, yeah, it's definitely like kind of like mild highlighter colored. They got me into, they were all buying TWSBI minis, and I was like, ooh, fountain pens. I haven't used a fountain pen in 100 years. Let me try this out. I'm like, it's such a cute pen. Like, I would like to try fountain pens again. Okay, so we have Vandeman's West Coast Sunset Tangerine. It's a pretty, like, reddish orangey color. If you can see that. Yeah, so I got one. It is a spendy, like, quote-unquote first fountain pen purchase, but I was spending so much money on planner stickers at the time, like, buying a TWSBI wasn't a big deal. But then, like, the planner, like, fountain pens don't really work on stickers, but it was, like, around the time, like, all the planner girls were switching from stickers to, like, Filofaxes and like traveler's notebooks and stuff like that, and I get sucked into the hype real easily. So yeah, like I like to try all the things, as you can see by all the ink that I swatch on this channel. I like to try things. Ooh, that's pretty. That's very pretty. So I figured if it didn't work out, like maybe I'd sell it or whatever, but West Coast, is it Sunset or Sunrise? Sunset Tangerine. So that's what that looks like. This ink looks like it has some really excellent shading in it. It's still drying, but I can see some already. Yeah, so I bought my TWSBI Mini and loved it, and then ventured down the rabbit hole of YouTube fountain pen videos, and just fell in love. And then started like looking at fountain pens on Instagram and found all that stuff. And yeah, then I found like YouTube video channels, and I found about Ink Flight. I found Chris and Creepy Nibs, and found out about Ink Flight and Brian Goulet and Asbury Brown, and yeah, so it's just like, so yeah, so the planner girls of Instagram are what got me into fountain pens, but everybody else is what kept me here. Actually, I think having my channel has kept me here even longer, because I go in spurts. I have bouts where I'm like using fountain pens all the time, and then I'm not, and the bout of like still using them has lasted a lot longer through this year, just because I'm making videos and stuff like that. So I feel like that's helped. So that means you all too have influenced me. Yeah. And back to question number 4. I don't know that I've brought people into fountain pens for my channel. I know that I have influenced people to choose inks and try inks out and stuff like that, and maybe try a pen. But I think everybody that's come here has sort of already been in the hobby. So if I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments. If I've influenced you into the hobby, let me know. Again, I know that I have influenced some pen and ink purchases, but yeah. I don't think I've brought anybody into the hobby through the channel. I think everybody that's come here has already been here, which is excellent. Okay, I have about half an hour left. This has gone pretty fast. We've done like 5 inks already. Cool. And let's see. Favorite fountain pen friendly notebook or paper? I would say Tomboy River paper is probably my favorite. Most of the notebooks that I use on a daily basis, I use my Hobonichi. My journal's a Cafe Note B6 Slim from Nanami Paper Company. Yeah, I have a Hipponoto notebook which has like 68 gram Tomboy River paper is probably my favorite. It's a little more substantial, and I like that. I like that about it. So yeah. So I would say that that's probably my very favorite. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Hobonichi, my journal, my book that I write lyrics in. The ink that I'm doing, the paper that I'm doing my ink reviews on for my ink shelf videos. Again, those are coming, I promise. Yeah, so I would say Tomboy River paper is probably the paper that I use the most. I also enjoy a Rhodia dot pad from time to time. That's what I wrote these on. Yeah, a Leuchtturm. Sometimes the paper, sometimes it bleeds through, and it definitely ghosts a lot. But I like those notebooks. I got the new bullet journal. I haven't opened it or tried it out yet. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on that or not, but yeah, I got that to play with. I just like notebooks in general. I actually did notes. I'm doing my work training thing. I don't have it sitting here, but I did notes on like a Mead like spiral notebook, and I used a fountain pen. I used my it wasn't this one because this one has the double broad, but it was my green one like this, the transparent green one from Goldspot with Sailor, I forget what the ink is that I got for it, whatever matching ink 7, it looks like it's 764 maybe, it's on my ink shelf, I can't see, but that's what it looks like. I think it was 764, the greenish one. I used that, and I used almost the whole converter taking notes and stuff, so that was a really nice a nice ink surprise. Colorverse Sunspot. This is one that I've been meaning to try and just never got around to. So I'm excited to have gotten around. Sorry if the brushes are really loud. They're right by the microphone. Yeah. So that's probably my favorite fountain pen friendly notebook paper is Tomboy River. I do like others. I like Midori paper, like the Midori cotton paper. I have a letter pad for it that I really like using. Yeah, basically I'll write on whatever. My least favorite is probably like normal copy paper. Actually, my very least favorite is the yellow copy paper we have to use for work, although that seems to be phasing itself out with the way that our new system stuff is coming, so that will be a thing of the past. So Sunspot is a black ink, and I can't remember if it's this one or the other one that's supposed to have like some really cool inky things going on, if you can get it to work. This is from Banna's Pens. I don't even know why I get all these black inks, because I love TWSBI Black so much, and I have like 3 or 4 other black inks on my shelf, but I gotta try everything. Cool. So yeah, question number 7, have you ever thought about quitting the hobby? No, not fountain pens. Like I said earlier, I kind of go in bouts where I am using pens and then not using pens. Like, I have so many pens. I know that you're shocked by this, but like even just like normal pens, like gel pens and stuff, like I love gel. That's maybe a video I should do, like my favorite non-fountain pen pens. If you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I just love pens and stationery, and like back to school time was always my favorite time of the year, because you get to go, this is a pretty black, you get to go buy, new pens and pencils and notebooks and paper, and ooh, this is really nice. This is a really nice black ink. Nicely done, Colorverse. Although I'm not surprised with as much as I like shiny black. I wonder if this is related at all. Because shiny black is a black ink with glitter in it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. Thankfully, I remembered before I put it in water. Oops. So yeah, I've not thought about quitting fountain pens. I have thought about quitting some of my other hobbies, or not necessarily quitting, but like getting rid of like a bunch of stuff, like just getting rid of it. Very nice. But that's actually like, that's a thing that I would like to do sometimes, but also a thing that I probably will never do. I wouldn't say that I'm a hoarder, but I don't like getting rid of things. I'm messy. But yeah. Okay, so next up we have Scribo Grigio. It looks like it's kind of like a bluish gray, like a slate gray maybe. Very pretty. Yeah, so no, not really. I might quit YouTube sometime because like that's part of my, that is a hobby that's involved in my hobby, but that's not a thought of anytime soon. So yeah, so I'm sure that's a thing that will eventually happen maybe, but although maybe not. Maybe I'll just do ink flight unboxings and ink swatching videos and pen YouTube forever. Who knows? Yeah. So if you could meet any famous pen person, who would it be? Well, do YouTubers count as famous pen people? Because if they do, then I don't even need to answer this question. You already know my answer. Like if I have to pick one single person that's quote unquote famous in the pen world that I would love to meet in person, like seriously, guess in the comments. Like what is your guess? Screebo. I'm gonna write this down. So I can't really tell what color this. Oh yeah, it does look like it's kind of a dark. It's darker than I expected it to be, like a dark blue gray. Yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna swatch this card and then I will answer this question. But I'm sure that you were already screaming either to yourselves or in the comments, like you know the answer to this question. I don't even need to say it. In fact, it may be the answer to some of yours. Like this may be a person that you want to meet in person. I can guarantee you that I would love to meet this person in person. Yeah, so let's go ahead and swatch this ink. Actually, there are many people, but if I had to just pick one, if they were like, you can only meet one person in all of pendom to meet, who would it be? I would tell you. That it would be Count Chocula over at Creepy Nibs. Come on, you knew that. You knew that. Who didn't know that? I feel like anybody who spent any amount of time on this channel can tell you that that is the person I would love to meet. I would also love to meet Chris and everybody that I've written to or has written to me. Like I would love to meet everybody. Like as shy and like withdrawn as I am in person, I just would I as like much anxiety as it would fill me with to like actually meet people, like I would love to watch like all the pen YouTubers that I watch on the regular, like everybody that I'm subscribed to. I would love to meet Adventure Janali. I'd love to meet Wassy Squirrel. I'd love to meet Pickwick Turtle. I'd love to meet I said Chris already. I'd love to meet, who else do I watch? I watch like everybody. I would love to meet Mike Madison. I would love to meet I would love to meet Sarah Martinez. She does like planners kind of things and like traveler's notebook stuff. But yeah, I would love to meet. Basically, if we've ever interacted, I wish we could meet. And that's whether you're quote unquote famous or not. Like I just like you're all my people, and I would love to meet and hang out with all of you. So this is pretty. It's a cool gray. It's not as blue as I expected it to be, although it is a cool gray that leans sort of blue. I was thinking that it would be a little more blue, but yeah. Oops, I'm not even showing it. I think it looks like it's more blue on camera, but it's definitely like, it's not gray, but it's not the color I thought it was going to be. I mean, it is gray, but it's like, it's a bluey gray. Anyway, I'm not making any sense. So I'm going to stop talking about it. Although it does look blue on here. Anyway, this is what we have so far. It's a very nice selection. Yeah. So yeah, if I could only pick one person, it would be Creepy Nibs. Okay, here it is next to Spider Gray. It is a little more blue. It is definitely blue next to Spider Gray. Okay. Anyway. How many fountain pens would you like to own? All of them and none of them, if that makes any sense. Like, I know that I have way too much. And I know that I have way too much. I like to collect, let's see, Vandeman's Bass. I'm not sure if it's Bass or Base Strait Cobalt. Like Bass like the fish, or Base like music note. This is definitely a blue. But yeah. How many fountain pens would you like to own? I would, like, I sort of wish that I had less than I did so I could appreciate what I have more. I do appreciate what I have, but I wish that I had the ability to, like, use everything in like, more often. Hold on, let me write this. I can't write and talk, I guess. This is very pretty. I like it a lot. Like, you know, like, there's, like, there's people that have, like, just a few pens. Like, Jen's Tien's has, like, eight or 9 pens, I think. Something. She, like, has a reasonable number of pens, and she gets to use them all the time and appreciate what she has, and if it's not working for her, she gets rid of it. Or, like, if she decides she wants something else, then something's gotta go. And I, like, cannot function like that. I am envious and in awe of people that can function like that. But, yeah, like, ideally, I wish I had less, but also I don't want to get rid of anything. I don't want to deal with the hassle of selling things. It's a hassle to me as somebody who is more introverted and shy and, like, would just rather not deal with it. I'd rather just keep everything I have. What I also like to do is I like to, like, if I have something and it's a thing that I know that I'm not using or not getting as much love out of or enjoyment that somebody else will use, I have literally no problem giving it to somebody. I would rather give it as a gift to somebody I think who would enjoy it better than me than worry about the back and forth of, like, trying to sell things, like answering questions and, like, I mean, I don't mind answering questions, but just, like, I have sold yarn before online in places, and just the, like, I give a price that I would like to pay, that I would like to receive, and then somebody comes back and wants to, like, negotiate with me, and I'm like, no, I've already said. And when I price things to get rid of it, I do, like, I try to get as much money out of it as I can, but I don't, like, I do price things in what I consider a reasonable manner. Like, I'm never making any money on anything that I have sold, so I just, like, I'm already losing money. I'm not trying to lose more money on it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so I just don't like the back and forth of all that. I have just recently purchased a couple of pens off the Pen Swap Reddit, and the person, like, if somebody's selling something online, like in a Pen Swap or on eBay or wherever I'm looking at it from, if it's a reasonable price, I'm going to buy it. And if it's not a price that I'm willing to spend, then I won't buy it. Vandeman's Midnight Sky Shimmer. I don't see much shimmer in here unless it's already shaken up. Yeah, like, I have no problem spending money on things, and if somebody is selling a thing at a price that I consider reasonable for my own self, then I'll buy it. Like, I don't need to go back and forth. They want this much money for it, and I'm willing to give it to them. So, I found the shimmer. It's in the cap. Yeah, so I would prefer people like that are like, okay, yeah, here's my PayPal address and whatever. So I just don't, yeah, I've sold a couple things on like Facebook before, like traveler's notebooks and stuff like that. But I would just rather like take to eBay. Oh, I didn't write this down, so I'm just gonna give myself room. This is a long one. Ooh, pretty. Yeah, so ideally I would like to probably have less, but I'm not going to do anything about it, and I'm probably going to buy more stuff, so what I want and think is reasonable is not a thing that I'm going to get, unless I just decide to like give all of my stuff away. And if I'm giving all my stuff away, that means I'm quitting the hobby. Well, maybe it doesn't mean I'm quitting the hobby, but I'm getting rid of a lot of things, like, so yeah. Okay. So I don't see that happening. I wish I could be the kind of person that has like a 10 pen case and that's just the pens that they have and that's the pens that they use and that's it, but I'm not. What are your favorite, speaking of pen cases, what are your favorite pen sleeves and pen cases? I really like the rickshaw pen sleeves. I was looking forward to getting one of the Harrisville tweed pen cozies with the from Rickshaw, but they're not selling them as bundles. They're selling them like as individual pieces, and I put everything that I wanted in my cart and it ends up being like $200. So I'm like, okay, no, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna wait on that, although maybe if I get Christmas money or something, who knows. But yeah, so Diemen, what's this called? Midnight Sky Shimmer. It's not really, doesn't really look like an R, but it is. Yeah, so we'll see. Oh, I'm getting some shimmer on the paper towel. Looks like the card probably has some shimmer too. Their shimmer is like so fine. Oh, that's pretty. It's like gold, kind of. Yeah, that's very pretty. Ooh, I like it. Okay, where am I on time? Okay, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 more as quickly as possible, and then I'm gonna have to get going. Just to finish out like the row, I guess, is what I'm trying to do. Oh, you can see the shimmer on this copy paper. That's very pretty. It's like it's not even like necessarily gold. It's like kind of champagne looking. Pretty. Okay. I'm gonna flip this around. Oh, that probably doesn't matter. Okay. How many cards do I have? Oh, I have 2 cards. Okay. We'll see. I'm gonna do at least 2 because that's how many cards I have. Vandeman's Black and Seas. Oh, I don't have to do this one because this was another one we just did in the ink flight. It looks like... where is it? It looks like this. So sweet. I'm not going to swatch that one, so that's one that I don't need to do. What else we got in here? Vandeman's Devil Black. Another black one. This is a really big sample. This one's almost like 5 mils, so that must have been like the end of the bottle or something. Anyway, yeah, so pen sleeves and cases. I really like Rickshaw. I have a Galen Leather 5 pen sleeve. Oh, I don't have it right here. I also really like this Lockbee tool roll. I was using it for knitting stuff, but I've recently, let me zoom out. I don't have anything in it right now. I had put some pens in it and had taken those to work and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I think that this is like a thing that I'm going to use to throw in my bag. Because I started carrying a nicer bag to the store to work. And I also have a Galen Leather 5 pen case. It's purple. You've seen it before. It holds my purple Twisbees. And let's see where it is right now. I thought it was here, but it's not. And then I really like those Keiko 40 pen sleeves that I have all my pens in. If you watch the All My Pens video, I'll link that above somewhere. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't think there's ever a pen case that I've had that I haven't liked, at least in some form or fashion. I have a I have one of these Knock Sinclairs. I think it's a Sinclair. It has 3 pen slots and then a place for a notebook. I can cram like 10 or 12 pens in this thing. I'm not even kidding. So that's really nice. Oops, Van Ness pens. Vandeman's Devil Black. That is a good name for this one. It's very black, at least in the writing. And on my fingers. I must have dipped too far. I didn't realize I'd gotten so many black inks. But that's fine. Okay. It's very inky. It's not like... It's very inky. It's not like inky... I mean, it's going on inky, kind of like TWSBI Black is, but it's not... I don't think it's as thick as TWSBI Black is, but it's very nice. It paints on very smoothly, and even in the writing it was pretty smooth despite my glass dip pen, so it's kind of amazing. I would like to see how this writes in a pen. But yeah, it went on very smoothly. We'll see how it is when it dries. It's taking a time. It's taking a time to dry for sure though. So... But it doesn't coat the vial like TWSBI Black does. TWSBI Black like kind of coats everything. So, it's nice. Okay. Next up we have Vandeman's Apple Island Green. And this is going to be the last one because this is the last card I have out and I am late getting back to work. Actually, it will really bother me if that row is not complete, so I'm going to do another one after this. That's not usually a thing that bothers me, but I don't know. Today is the day that bothers me, I guess. Okay. This is the one that I've wanted to look at. Oops, let me zoom back in. This is one that I've wanted to check out for a while, so I'm glad that it's a thing that is happening. Another one from Van Ness Pens. Ooh, that's pretty. It's one that I had in my cart when I bought that big Apple Island Green. When I bought that big order, but I took it out because I was like, okay, you don't need to buy all of the inks. But yeah, this is really nice green. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Montblanc Irish Green. A little bit, in a way. I don't have my rings here to share that with you. Or do I? No, I do not. I really need to clean up this area, and one of the things I want to do when I clean up this area is to get like a dedicated space for my Col-o-ring cards so I can just grab them whenever I'm here. Okay, so back to the questions. If you could go to any pen show in the world, which one would it be? I would really like... I've only been to one pen show, and it was only the market, and I only had like an hour and a half to like get through and look at things. And that was the San Francisco Pen Show, and I would love to go back there and like experience it in full. like all the shenanigans after hours and like all the, I would love to just experience a pen show in all its glory. I also would like to go to the LA pen show, I think, just because it's like, it is like, it's close enough that it's doable. I think Colorado would be nice just because I'd like to go to Colorado. I'd like to go to the, this Philly, I think Philly has a pen show, or they did. Atlanta sounds fun. DC, it's the Super Show, so I'd love to go to that. Toronto pen show, I'd love to do that. Anywhere internet. I just like, if it's a pen show, I want to go to it because I think that would be so fun. I wish I could like make that be a thing that is a thing that I could do. Just go to like all the pen shows everywhere, all the time, forever. It's a very pretty green. Maybe it's not. I think Irish green is a little darker than this. But this is a very vibrant, nice, like green, like a Crayola green sort of color. Set that there. And last but not least, I have to get one more card just because I am being a silly person. And we're gonna go. Oh, I did quite a bit in this box, so that's. We've done a lot of. Let's see. Okay, I guess that's what we'll end on. Vandeman's the Wilderness Series Firetail Finch. So that's what we'll end on. We had a lot of greens and a lot of blacks this time, so that's kind of interesting. I did get a lot of blacks though, so that makes sense. Seems like we have like a lot of reds and things in the next, reds and blues maybe next time. Oh, that's Firetail green. So this Firetail Finch looks like a really nice red color. Oh, that's pretty. It's like, okay. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, so I'd like to go to basically any pen show, but I really would love to go to San Francisco again. If that's a thing that happens next year, I would love to go and like experience it in all its glory. And now that I have like pen friends, it would be so cool if we could like somehow make it work to where we just like meet up at the pen show and just like hang out and like do fun pen things. So yeah, that'd be great. Okay, what am I doing? Let me write this down first and then we'll answer it. I think there's only one question left. Yes. Firetail Finch, right? Yes. My hands are covered in ink. Okay. I need a brush. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. On the Tomboy River paper. That is very pretty. Okay. That's a very pretty red. It definitely leans more pink. It reminds me a little bit of Star Ruby from Edelstein. I might have that one. Do I have that one? I might have that one. Let me see. Pilot. Pen BBS. Pen BBS. Oh, no, I guess I don't have that one available close by. Sorry. But yeah. Although that bottom section where it's not as like stark is kind of, maybe not. But yeah, that's pretty. cool. Alright, so I'm going to let these dry and I'm going to get back to work, and then I will pop on with a quick little overview of how these look. And we did 2, 4, 6, 8, we did 12 today, so cool. So here's what the swatches look like. And yeah, we'll review them in a second, and I'll show these off also when they're dry. The last question is, how much space do you dedicate to the hobby? And pretty much like everything that every space that is mine is covered in pen stuff. I have my ink shelf, which you've seen before. If you've watched that video, I'll link it. I have that drawer that was in that video. I pretty much put pen stuff everywhere. I have this desk where I work and also do my videos. So there's lots of pen stuff here. I have pen stuff on my nightstand, pen stuff all over my room. Yeah, just everything is everywhere. I mentioned not being organized, right? Here's what the paper towel looks like. Let me zoom back out again. This is kind of where I was like wiping everything, but also trying to like keep things in order. So I went like this and then like this. That chromatography on that blue is really interesting. And these blacks look similar, except this one has the shimmer, so I wonder if that's the case. That red actually, like unless it does something more, just looks like it's straight up red. This ink was the Sunset, so that's really pretty. And that's the Swallowtail Butterfly. That's the Scribo. No, is that the Scribo? No, that was Montblanc. That's the Scribo. And that's the Screebo. So cool, like mini chromatography sort of stuff. This one looks sick on the Tomboy River paper. This is that snake, tiger snake. Okay, I'm not going to show everything because I really have to go, but this is what it looks like compared to that. This is cool. Like, this is not my usual thing, but that's like, this is a creepy nibs ink. But yeah, so very cool. So awesome. So I will come back when these are dry and go over them and show them to you. And then, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I will see you in just a second. And we're back. We're going to go ahead and review our ink swatches. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, no, I'm going to stay zoomed out. I'll show them up close. This is Vandeman's Tiger Snake. It's an interesting, like, yellowy color that does really interesting things in Tomboy River paper, so I can't wait to see what this is like in a pen. Reminds me a little of Sailor 280, kind of, or like kelp tea. I don't think it's as green or as brown as kelp tea, but it's like one of those interesting colors. Scribo Rosso Chianti. I love this color. I like the way that these two look together. Montblanc Spider Gray. Reminds me a little of Aurora Gray. It has some of that like that yellowy or like that creaminess to it right there. Makes it kind of warm. It's really nice. It's a nice gray. Vandeman's Spring Macleay. I'm gonna say Maclay's. I don't know if that's right. This is like so bright. Maclay's Swallowtail Butterfly. It's very bright. It looks like it reminds me of Ferris Press Sweet Honeydew, but brighter. Maybe a little more legible, although I think it was legible on the card. It just wasn't legible when I had it in a pen. Vandeman's West Coast Tangerine. This dried, I kind of like this a little better when it was wet. It was a little more red, but it's a very pretty orange, and looks like it'll have some really nice shading. So if that's something you're interested in, cool. Next up we have Colorverse Sunspot, which is a black, and it has like that kind of cool sheen to it. So that's neat. In that top section, I think you can see it. A little shine, so that's pretty neat. Then we have Scribo Grigio, which looks blue on here, but is like kind of like a slate gray. Here's what it looks like. Now that they're both dry, here's what it looks like next to Spider Gray. Definitely more blue, but very pretty. I actually wanted to paint my walls in my bedroom this color. Instead, they're pink and purple because a child used to live in my room. But anyway, this is Base Strait Cobalt. I dripped some water on here accidentally, so when I cleaned it up, it left dots, and I just decided to leave it instead of repaint over it. But yeah, this is a really nice blue color. I like how it looks in the scribble up here. Yeah, so that's nice. Vandeman's Midnight Sky Shimmer. I don't know what Van Diemen's uses for their shimmer, but the shimmer is like consistently in everything. The only thing I don't like is you can obviously see my brush strokes here, which I don't care for, but this is a really pretty like champagne sort of glitter color, shimmer color, and I like it a lot. I like this a lot. This would be like a cool like New Year's Eve or like a New Year's, yeah, like a New Year's Eve sort of ink if you need to like address invitations to parties nobody can go to. Then we have Van Diemen's Devil Black, which is another one of those like blacks with black sheen sort of on it. I like the way that looks. I like the way it looks in the writing. Here's what it looks like next to Colorverse Sunspot. I think Sunspot is a little like gives a little more even coverage. And the haze is a little, it looks like the little sheen spot that's on here is a little, it leans a little more like red or pink maybe. Than this does, but yeah, this is nice. Yeah, like it looks like the sheen looks a little pinkier to me. But yeah, that's nice. And then we have Apple Island Green, which is just a really nice, pretty bright green. I said Montblanc Irish Green, but maybe more like Diemen Apple Glory, perhaps. That's a green that I really love. I don't have that. I had a sample of it once, and I really loved it. And then Van Diemen's Firetail Finch. Now what I wanted to show you is the Tomboy River paper because it looks completely different. Most of these look completely different on the paper than they do on these cards. And you can see Devil Black is still drying. It's still drying. It's been like an hour and a half, maybe like an hour and 20 minutes since I like did these swatches, or since I stopped the last part of the recording. So yeah. So here is that tiger snake. That's so interesting. And then the Scribo Chianti like looks more red on the card than it does on the Tomboy River paper. It looks more like a spider orchid a little bit. That's a pretty color though. I like it. The spider gray, the swallowtail, the tangerine sunset. I almost like it better on the card than I do on the paper, but maybe writing with it is different. Sunspot has that sheen, which I like so much, so that's really cool. Here's Grigio, which definitely looks more blue, especially it's not, you can see it's definitely a bluer color, especially next even if you cover that up, like it still definitely has a bluish cast. It's definitely like a blue gray or a gray blue. Van Diemen's Cobalt. I like how this looks on this swatch. It does have like a haze. It's not even like necessarily like a red haze. It's more, it doesn't seem like it's like the usual red or pink, although it does lean kind of towards that. I don't know. That's pretty. It seems more kind of violet to me. And then here's the shimmer of Midnight Sky Shimmer. Yeah, whatever Van Diemen's uses as their shimmer, it's really consistent. And there's shimmer in like everything, and I love it. It does kind of, my fingers are disgusting, excuse me. It does rub off, but it could just be because there's a lot on here. Devil Black, like I said, is still drying. I'm afraid, oh yeah, it's kind of sticky right now where it is. So that's kind of interesting. And then the Apple Green, or Apple Island Green, I like that a whole lot. And then the Firetail Finch. I actually like the shade of red that it's on the Tomboy River paper better than I like it on the card. It looks way more interesting on Tomboy River paper. So yeah, so those are the inks we swatched. And I have a few left. I don't have time to swatch them now, but we have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh yeah, we have about 12 more left. So yeah, so I could do another swatchy video on my lunch break one of these days. Yeah, and hopefully that is something that you're interested in. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care. Love you. Bye.